Welcome back to Tarot Time with Andy. Hope you guys are doing well. This is my vibrational reading. Please do your own research, entertainment purposes, allegedlys, and perceptions and opinions. I'm going to clear these out. Doing a little Palo Santos today. It is another cool day here. Strange summer so far, you guys, but I'm kind of digging it. Don't bother me at all. I love the chilled weather. I don't have to wait till fall. All right, so I got a request to do Michael Jackson. Yay, Michael Jackson. I was a huge fan of Michael Jackson before all the drama happened. Then I felt very sad and disappointed, like most people. I spent many, many hours dancing to him in California at a performing arts college I was in. I actually had classmates that was in some of his music videos. There were two guys. It was actually in his Monster video where they did that monster dance. So that was cool. One of the benefits of growing up and being in the artistic industry or being connected, you get to meet all kinds of people who get to talk about their experiences and get a little bit of insight, so that was fun. So let's get some cards on him. I'm going to start with general energy, but I will get to the hard question I know is on everybody's mind, which I cannot say the words because YouTube won't like it. So you know what I'm getting at. Don't need to say the word. Very sensitive algorithms, however you say it, I hear on YouTube. Don't want to irritate the boss. Here we go. Some energy on Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, please be clear. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. There we go. Very first one. Wow. Defiance and victory. Yeah, he did have to fight. He did get, they did let him off the hook on that situation. So defiance and victory. It was something that he gained some experience by that, didn't he? Yes, he did. That's that one last push, and he was able to push through all of the problems. So that's what that is. I will just keep pulling here. Wow, it's already wanting to get into it. My goodness, it's really wanting to get into this subject matter. Okay. Well, there's the Emperor, sort of like the King of Pop. And under the surface and in the center. Wow, Tower Crasher. Okay. Yeah, it was a tower crashing moment when he died. Okay, so I would say for starters on this first row here, what do I have here? I have here, well, in the past he was very victorious career. I mean, so celebrated. You just can't deny that, right? Very, very celebrated individual. But he ended up not feeling too emotionally fulfilled with the Nine of Cups in reverse. So there was no emotional fulfillment at one point in time. He went into that direction. And then he also went into a very guarded way of living. He became very guarded with the Ace of Swords in reverse. He did have to become very defiant, which he did win. And we have the Justice card. It did go in his favor. So that is that. It did go in his favor. We have here, he ended up feeling with the Two of Wands in reverse. So he didn't feel he had any partnerships or any fork in the roads in front of the world. He felt guarded. Like here, it's very guarded. He was very guarded in front of the world. Even though I got the Emperor here, it's sort of like the King of Pop. Okay, I would say that's the King of Pop. He was in control of his career and the Control song. That was, I think, his sister. Yeah. Anyways, in the center of the situation, he felt this tower crashing moment in his life. You know, like he literally lost his crown, the King of Pop, and was constantly under scrutiny with the lightning bolts constantly hitting him from every direction, lots of cloudy days, wanting to escape the situation. And that involved with the teamwork expansion. He did want to escape the problems that he was facing here and not feeling like he had nowhere to go. Of course, he lived this way, to be quite frank. He never could go and walk freely. He had to go in major disguise, which he would go to this record store in LA, and he would wear like this really bummy clothes and bummy shoes, and he was so bummy looking nobody would even guess it was him. That's how much in disguise at times he would go. apparently. That's what they say. He didn't always go with masks and kids in tow and try and garner attention. Many times he would go out in really hardcore disguise, looking like a near homeless person, to be quite frank. So this is just basically what went down. He's basically, the energy's telling me how he beat it. He still felt like he was the king of pop, but it was such a tower crashing experience, and he did require a team to beat this justice system. Now I need to find out, was it authentic win or is it a false win? So is there guilt? So I got to be very direct with the cards now, and that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to be very direct. Was there guilt? Guilt or shame in regards to the charges? Was there guilt and shame? Was there guilt and shame in regards to the charges? And the card I would expect to see if he was a total liar would be the Seven of Swords. That is my Fox card. That is the thief card. That is the one, the guy carrying all the swords, and he's looking over his shoulder. That's the guy I would want to see if he is a total liar. Also, another one could be quite possibly prison cards. Well, justice, it would be justice in reverse would be a good one. Devil card, conflict cards, lots of fives, and another tower. Those are the kind of cards I need to see. So let's find out. Was there any guilt or shame in this? That one's out. There's the sun. So it was a seated situation. And taking a fool's path, taking a risk, new path, new future, heading for a new future. Hard work pays off. Okay, so right now it's telling me a seated situation with the new fool's path, taking a chance on a new journey. It's something that with the Seven of Pentacles, that is gaining experience, and that is earthbound energy. So that could be bad. Working at something could be bad because that could be indicating, what do they call it, where you mold the person into what you want them to do. And we have here King of Cups in reverse. So this is someone who turns kind of dark, abusive. Yikes. So that is emotional abuse right there. So this is so far not looking good for him. Then we have here the Eight of Cups in reverse. It's not something he could overcome. Boy, and they cannot overcome that. And we have here turning water into wine, taking a bad situation and making it better. He was able to do that with the lawsuit. And the outcome is partnerships. Oh boy. This isn't reading very good right here. Being abusive yet maintaining your cool and looking like you're taking water and turning it into wine. That's sort of trying to create something here. I don't like this at all. I'll be straight. I don't like the looks of this at all. And the fact that, in this card either, not being able to overcome it, but yet maintaining your cool. I don't like that at all. I don't. This is sticking out. I'm going to take it. And there's no rest and recovery with the Four of Swords. So this would be someone who is in the upright. This person's going to heal. This person does not heal. Four of Swords up here is recuperation. Someone, they heal. This here, you never get better. You never get better. So this is really looking bad. Under the surface, we have its challenge. There's that challenging card, that Five of Wands. Fives is conflicts and very challenged. Okay, let's see. What is this center card going to be? Ooh. So this person is ready to give up. They don't want to fight over a situation. Not wanting to fight. It's a kind of a given up position. Not using their intellect and their words very clearly. Being not being fearless. He's not. This is not a fearless position. This is a very sensitive position, not being forthright either, because upright, they're being very forthright and honest, but they're insensitive, they're serious, they're quick-minded, they're wisdom, and they have fearless action. In reverse, this person is very afraid. They're being very stupid, slow-minded, not serious. They're being immature, not using their intellect like they should, basically. And this person is being very sensitive and secretive because they're not being forthright. This is not looking good. This person's holding secret. They are not being forthright in reverse. I hate to say it, but I'm going to say he did. He did some behavior that was completely unacceptable. To the level of it, don't know. Don't really want to go there, but I will now confirm with the pendulum. Did he do unacceptable behavior? Did he do the unacceptable behavior? Did he do the unacceptable behavior? Yes. Yes. So I have to say it, he was guilty. That's disappointing. Okay, so he probably paid off to keep people quiet. So let's get some cards on that. Let's get some cards on the lawsuits and the payments going out. Let's clarify that. Let's get some cards on payments and victims. Let's get some cards on that. Victims and payments. Victims and payments. Give me the energy on that. First card we have here, giving gifts. Yeah, paying people off with gifts. And we have here, and using very strong intentional words to do so, being the leader with the King of Swords. That's very intentional leader. And it's also being very resistant. So yeah, it's guilt. It's guilt. Giving gifts. Gifts, same thing, money, gifts. Under the surface, deceit, insensitive, gossipy, spies, secretive, immature. This is the Page card, which is immature, arrested development. Guilty. Guilty. He's guilty. Now let's get some Kipper cards. Kipper cards. Give me some Kipper cards. And Michael Jackson's energy, Michael Jackson's energy. And this is my opinion and the cards, and this is allegedly, because I do not want to get in trouble here. Imprisonment. He feared imprisonment. Guilty. Let's get some Under the Roses, Under the Roses, Under the Roses, Under the Roses. Here we go. He wanted to look sweet. Sweet. And the moon energy is very emotional. The moon energy is your shadow energy also. As also, moon energy is an unplanned path and fear in a situation and an unknown struggles ahead of you. Ahead of you. He was afraid of prison. He wanted to look sweet and innocent. In the center of the deck, he didn't like people talking about it. Everyone was talking about it. He didn't like that. Well, I can imagine. I wouldn't either. Okay, let's get some cards here. Let's see what this has to say. These are some Oracle deck cards here. I have not used them on the channel, I don't think, but here we go. Maybe once I did. Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson. Please be clear. Michael Jackson. Growth. So he wanted to expand his consciousness and his awareness, so he did want to grow as an individual. Oh, that's out. I have no choice. But he was very worried. Very worried. So I would say the growth was sort of the mask, and this was under the mask. From the world, he wanted to show that he was growing and helping, but really underneath it, he worried greatly. And he worried about his self-esteem as well. He had self-esteem issues. And we have here loneliness in reverse. He didn't like being lonely, so he took care of the loneliness situation. That's why he probably had them there. He was very lonely, and he had his solution. And trust. He wanted them to trust him, and he wanted perseverance and indecision. I want to use my intuition in all aspects of my life. So he did have some indecision about himself. He was probably very confused about his core self, not sitting well. I think this is sort of a flippy-floppy thing here. I want to grow, but yet I'm very worried. Having self-esteem issues, indecision, needing to be persevere, wanting people to trust him, and was fighting loneliness and found a solution to his loneliness. He had that page energy, which is the arrested development, young child, didn't want to grow up, so he needed to hang out with like-minded because never was he was never allowed to be a kid, so he wanted to relive that part of his life that he missed out on, and that probably was part of it. So let's get some more energy cards, That one's out. We have here attachment. That is the ego at hand here, very attachment. So there was an ego problem going on as well. And let's get some other cards here. Let's see what this one has to say. Michael Jackson. That's sticking out. We have here, he was very successful at doing what he wanted to do. Under the surface, in the near future. He was always looking for the success to regain. He was trying to recoup his career when he'd passed away. He was really trying to relaunch himself, and that's where he was when he passed away. He was going to relaunch himself, and big happy changes. Yeah, he wanted big happy changes. That's why he was relaunching his career. He was hoping to alter and change the whole perception of what was being said about him. Unfortunately, I don't think it was super effective. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, like and subscribe. Bye.